When I found out I was pregnant, it felt like the world slowed down. After years of struggling to conceive, those two pink lines made everything glow. My husband Daniel was thrilled. His mother, Margaret, not so much. She smiled at me that day, but I could tell her happiness was for her son, not for me. From the start she treated me like a temporary guest in her family. Still, I hoped the baby might bring us closer. When my friends started planning a baby shower, Daniel said, "Let Mom help. It'll mean a lot to her." Against my better judgment, I agreed. I told myself this was a chance for peace. I was wrong. Margaret took over like a general preparing for war. Every idea from my friends, pastel balloons, a small brunch, games, she dismissed. "That's childish," she'd say. She replaced my guest list with her bridge club friends and aunts I barely knew. When I tried to speak up, she smiled. "Relax, dear. You need rest." Daniel, caught between us, begged me to let it go. "She just wants to feel included," he said. I nodded, but a tightness grew in my chest. It was my shower, my first celebration as a mother, yet I felt like a guest in someone else's event.
This is Revenge by Fancy Home of Betrayal, Heartbreak, and Ultimate Payback. Subscribe and join a community that knows karma never forgets.
The day before the shower, my friends called in tears. Margaret had told them their help wasn't needed anymore. She'd hired a professional planner, someone who specialized in weddings, not baby showers. "Your mother-in-law wants a luxury theme," the planner explained to me on the phone. "She's approved a silver and white decor and a formal dress code." I wanted to scream. The whole thing felt like her personal gala. But I stayed quiet, too tired to argue. The baby kicked gently that night, and I whispered to my bump, "We'll just smile and get through this." The morning of the shower, I arrived at the rented ballroom Margaret had chosen. It looked stunning, white roses, chandeliers, soft jazz, but cold, sterile. My name wasn't anywhere on the welcome sign. It read celebrating the Williams family legacy. My friends stood awkwardly in a corner, ignored by Margaret's guests. I felt invisible. When I walked in, she actually clapped her hands. "Everyone, doesn't she look radiant?" Then she guided me to a seat like I was part of the decor. Daniel whispered, "Just breathe." But when I saw the cake, 3 tiers topped with Grandma Margaret's blessing, my breath caught for all the wrong reasons. Halfway through, Margaret gave a speech. "This baby is our family's continuation," she said, eyes glistening. "I've waited years for my grandchild." The crowd applauded. She never mentioned me once. I stared at my plate, cheeks burning. Even Daniel looked stunned. My best friend Emily squeezed my hand under the table. I wanted to disappear. Every polite smile felt like swallowing glass. I excused myself to the restroom and cried quietly, ruining my makeup. Then something inside me hardened. I was done being silent. When I came back, the photographer was taking pictures of Margaret cutting the cake alone. I smiled. "Wait," I said loudly, "I think the mother of the baby should be in the photos too." Heads turned. Margaret froze, knife mid-air. "Of course, dear," she said tightly. We posed together, but I whispered, "This isn't your moment." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. After that, I sat down and began texting Emily. I had an idea. My friends had planned a sweet video montage of Daniel and me, photos, messages, ultrasound clips, but Margaret had cancelled it. Luckily, Emily still had the file. I stood up, tapping my glass. "Before we continue," I said, voice steady, "there's something special my friends made for today." I gestured to the screen behind the stage. The lights dimmed, and music started. The video showed our story, our wedding, our laughter, Daniel's goofy dance when we first heard the heartbeat. People smiled. Then came the ultrasound clip where Daniel whispered, "You're going to be the best mom." Tears filled my eyes. Margaret's smile faltered. When the lights came on, everyone clapped for me. For us. Margaret tried to recover. "Wasn't that sweet?" she said too brightly. "Now, let's continue with gifts." But guests now turned to me, asking about the pregnancy, about baby names. For the first time all day, I felt like the mother. "Daniel took the mic actually," he said, "there's something I want to say." He walked to me, holding my hand. Everything we have. This baby, our happiness, it's because of her. He looked at me, not his mother. The room erupted in applause. Margaret's painted smile finally cracked. After the party, most guests came to thank me for the beautiful video. Some even apologized for not realizing how sidelined I'd been. Margaret stayed seated, clutching her purse like it could shield her. When the hall emptied, she stood and faced me. "You embarrassed me," she hissed. "No, Margaret," I said softly. "You embarrassed yourself." For once, Daniel didn't defend her. He just nodded. "Mom, it was supposed to be about the baby and my wife." Her eyes glistened. She turned away without another word. A week later, she came to our house with flowers. "I went too far," she admitted. "I wanted to feel needed." I looked at her, tired but calm. "You are needed, but not as a commander. As a grandmother." She wiped her eyes. "I'm sorry." I believed her. When she held my hand on the couch, it was the first real connection we'd ever shared. The baby kicked, and she gasped, smiling through tears. That was my quiet victory, not humiliation, not revenge. Just truth, finally seen in front of everyone. And that was enough.